Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. No way I'm lying to the court just because you want to get your Republic buddy off or whatever. I have no interest in going to prison. What do you want to know? There were only two other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Elasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on. Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
You with the cell, Kath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? I was in my room, minding my own business with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Glupor in the hall by Elas's room and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty. Sunry I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Elas's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room in private is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think a Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Oh, well, Elasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Well, one time, I saw Alassa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course, and her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alassa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
Chiki kun salkat, Jona mulira tong glupor kimba no kun nek lorcha. Glupor tong hit wanaji salkat agi inko tune glupor mulira, chuna mulira, tong glupor kitpa non kun nek. Glupor yun tung chiwi ita, bola un chikne mulira glupor, kon muli slimo pui wanga kun biskin. Glupor kimpa nikcha lora kun. Glupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Glupor nibo jimata wipun nage. Tong abag sun sham u glupor ninong. Glupor tong hit wamaji salkat ag inkot tune. Tong kimba no kun nikset abag. Glupor picha ge borang turang. Glupor wangki yuma bat malyaw no wish. Glupor no una pangpa mulira kongking. Kun mulira slimo poi wanga kun makachisa glupor. Tong abag sinshan glupor ni nong kili. Glupor chiwa aita kang kicha na selkat. Glupor nibo mulira glupo ni msit. Glupor sha. Glupor pampa ki mulira kun king. Glupor chachopa si chawa wish kun kun. Glupor bagra shak konti cha umyoman. Tangi zalkat wama jiko na. Glupor ag inkotune. Glupor no molira, chuna mulira, tongpa no kun, no nek. Glupor chachopa. Glupor bagwa shank konti machid Glupor nada chawa yishun kun.
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. The Sunry and Alassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? Dear, dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Welcome to Manan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. Kolto is a precious resource. Its healing powers are near miraculous. During times of war, Kolto becomes even more valuable. As long as we have the permits, we will continue to harvest Kolto and ship it to our Republic soldiers battling against the Sith. Of course, the Sith enjoy the very same privileges. If there was some way we could gain an edge over the Sith in our Kolto supply, But the Selkath are fiercely protective of their neutrality in this conflict. They do not want to grant either side an advantage. A beautiful place, Otto City. A paradise on the water. But remember, within the city itself, the Selkath have absolute authority. They're a tough race, but fair. Obey the Selkath laws, keep the peace, and you should encounter no problems. I assume you received a visitor guide to the city when you docked your ship. I regret there is little I can tell you that's not in the visitor guide, my good Jedi. My duties rarely permit me to venture beyond the walls of the Republic Embassy. I don't know much about the facts of the case, but I find it hard to believe. I never met Sunry, but he's a hero of the Republic, not a murderer. The so-called evidence against him is an obvious frame-up. It has to be. The Sith must have plotted Sunry's downfall to embarrass and discredit the Republic. The Republic? That makes no sense. Sunry has no enemies in the Republic, and his conviction will make all of our jobs more difficult. If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or check out the murder scene at the hotel. Talk to the other guests. Maybe they know something. I regret I could not be of more assistance in your investigation. Is there anything else? Oh, of course. Of course, I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. No. You do what I want and maybe I can help you out. Until then, nothing. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Faraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far. We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a passcard to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would like to try first? Good call. Just make sure you don't push him too hard or we might lose him. I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
So you're the one who's gonna try to get into the Sith base, eh? Huh, good luck, you're gonna need it. This is our main computer room here. We got the box of passcards we got from the Sith, but we haven't been able to break their encryption yet. We have been able to decode the numeric system they use, but there are holes in our terminal sequence patterns. The strings of numbers that end the code sequences. If we could complete those strings, we would have the key to their encryption system. The encryption system is composed of 6 matrices. Each is based on a mathematical method. The holes we're missing are the final number in each of the strings. Most are simple, but the final 2 matrices seem to be much more difficult. The second last matrix has a pattern looping back on itself, or something. And the last is divided into smaller subparts. Maybe the pattern for that is within each part. But I have to admit, all this is a bit over my head. I haven't even been able to slice past the first matrix, and I've been at this for hours. I've ruined a dozen cards already. But the good thing is we have a whole box of them, so you don't have to worry about running out anytime soon. Since Roland said you were cleared, you can use the computer freely. I'll be here if you have any questions.
And you need?
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Of course not. Yes. Yes, he was having an affair. He was seeing that Sith woman. After all these years we've been together, he just dropped me like that. Not publicly, oh no. But inside, that's what it feels like. He started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. Maybe the Sith woman attacked him, and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in cold blood. This is all a plot to discredit the Republic. Sunry is a victim of a Sith frame-up.
It's possible. I haven't seen Sunry since I crashed on Kashyyyk. A man can change a lot in that time. The man I knew could never have done this crime, however.
Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Jolie, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of arbiter cannot be taken lightly. Well, you know I was having an affair with Elasa. I went there to break it off that night. Well, I can tell you it wasn't easy. She was young and beautiful. But I love Alora. I knew I had to do it. I broke it off quickly as I could, and then I left. I found out later she'd been murdered when the Selkath authorities came knocking on my door. But let's look at the facts they've given. Elasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold. Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Selkath. Anything else I can help? Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. So the truth is out. I never meant to kill her, you know. When I found out she was a Sith spy using me to gain information, that something inside me just snapped. She didn't know I had found out. So I waited until she fell asleep. And then I killed her. Simple, really. But once I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I contacted those spies from the Republic to help me. They found the illegal monitoring device that the Sith had planted in the room, altered its recording to hide my part in it, and cleared up the evidence. I figured that was the end of it. The Sith must have been spying on me and Elasa, trying to make sure she wasn't a double agent. They must have seen the Republic spies getting rid of all the evidence, so they planted their own evidence. Elasa must have stolen that hero's cross from me long ago and given it to her Sith masters like some kind of trophy. I just thought I'd misplaced it. But when the cross turned up on her body, I knew the Sith had put it there. So, now you know the whole story. What are you going to do? You think I'm some kind of monster, don't you? All I did was kill a Sith. How many Sith have you killed? Dozens? Hundreds? Thousands?
That's different, Sunry, and you know it. We don't kill them in cold blood while they sleep.
I don't see how the two of us are any different. She was a spy. She was using me to get information so Malak's army could destroy the Republic. She deserved to die. If I confess, I'm looking at 20 years in prison. And the Otto City officials might even place Kolto sanctions on the Republic Embassy. Without Kolto, how can we treat the injuries to our soldiers on the front lines? No, I can't do that. And put the Republic's supply of Kolto in danger. No, I won't. Look, I may have done something stupid, and it may only be worse for my standing by it, but I will not confess. If you turn me in, the Republic will likely lose its Kolto export privileges, and then we'll lose the war for sure. Are you going to send all those thousands, millions like Taurus to their deaths just for your sense of justice?
Sunry, this is wrong, and you know it. I am a Jedi. What is it that you expect me to do to defend your actions?
You do whatever you have to, Jolie. I know what I did, but I also know what's at stake here. No, I'll rot in here if I have to. But I won't betray the Republic. Do what you have to, but know what the consequences will be.
I'm sorry, Sunry. And Alora, there's nothing more we can do.
Oh, Sunry, no!
Got something on your mind, dude? You did what was necessary. Sunry was guilty. As sad as that fact makes me, justice had to be done. Doesn't matter that his victim was a Sith or that he was once a hero. I only wish that my old friend hadn't done it. But that's the thing about wishes. They don't come true. And now Sunry's dead, which is a shame. He was a good man, you know, once. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches.